I want to take this opportunity to present this bronze cannon found in present-day Arizona that's associated with the 16th century Francisco Vázquez de Coronado expedition. This is the oldest known firearm found in the continental United States, and apparently it's also the earliest found on the continental landmass. This was found on a 1541 battle site wherein the Sobaipuri-O'odham residents prevailed against the Spanish townspeople. Hi, I'm Denny Seymour. I'm the professional archaeologist who found and dug this bronze cannon. We had it analyzed by firearms experts throughout the continent and throughout the world. This video is a summation of some of those conversations and also what we learned from our own research and analysis, and that is presented in a couple of articles cited towards the end of this video. The sand-cast bronze cannon measures 42 inches long and weighs about 40 pounds. It was discovered on the floor of a Spanish stone and adobe structure in the Santa Cruz Valley that's dated to 1541 at the short-lived Spanish settlement of San Geronimo III in the Suya Valley. This gun has great historical significance because of its association with the Coronado expedition that occurred between 1539 and 1542. This represents the first Europeans to enter the area, with the initial goal of exploring the fabled 7 cities of Cibola, or Zuni. Because of ongoing research since 2020, we now know where this expedition passed through Arizona because 17 Coronado expedition sites are now known between the international border near Nogales and the Gila River. The settlement of San Geronimo III, or Suya, where the cannon was discovered, represents the first European settlement in the American Southwest. It was established in 1541, but was soon abandoned owing to an attack by the local Sobaipuri-O'odham after egregious acts of violence by Captain Alcarez. The bronze cannon is also known as a rampart gun, a wall gun, or hook gun. Names were not standardized at the time, nor are they now with reference to this type of gun. It's called a hook gun or hackbutt in German. The hook was placed on the far side of a wall or tripod so that the hook would absorb the recoil. This piece of light artillery was perfect for a land expedition and was easily transported on muleback. In fact, the dings from transport and use are visible on the surface. The exterior is covered with a fine patina. In areas rubbed by roots, the green verdigris is visible. 4 iron pins or chaplets from the manufacturing process are visible on the breech end in front of the touch hole. The pan is flat, not dished, and is offset from the touch hole. The cannon is plain with no decoration, no maker's mark, with a crude finish. This and other evidence suggest it was likely cast in the New World, possibly in Mexico or the Caribbean. It was likely fired from a tripod by 2 people, and its length was extended by use of a wood tiller or short wooden pole, which was placed over the cascabel and was designed to aim the piece by placing the pole either under the armpit or over the shoulder of the gunner. The diameter of the bore is 0.95 inches or 5 gauge. It has a smooth bore. This firearm was likely loaded with swan shot, which would have been the approximate equivalent to number 4 buckshot. It would have had a devastating impact of about 100 yards with buckshot, but an effective range up to 400 or 700 yards depending on the ammunition used, the powder charge, and the angle at which it was fired. Larger shot had been found in the Albuquerque-Bernalillo area, but not here at Suya. Buckshot would have been most effective against an onslaught of people, especially if they were dispersed. Historic documents note that large shot was effective against large and dense groups of people, with impacts 4 to 5 people deep, but large shot would not have been as effective against less dense battle formations. There's also no adobe walls to batter with larger shot, since the Sobaipuri-O'odham lived in structures with very thin branch and mat walls covered with a layer of mud rather than the thicker adobe block, adobe and stone, or stone and mortar walls found elsewhere. This particular cannon was not fired in this battle, although its condition indicates it was fired in earlier fights. Battlefield analysis suggests that the structure where the cannon was found was one of the first to be attacked, which didn't leave time for the Europeans to load and fire the gun. The early morning attack left the residents unprepared to load the muzzle with powder, wad, and shot, and another wad, and then light the match to ignite the priming powder. Instead, they attempted to defend themselves with crossbows, swords, daggers, and other projectile weapons before being overrun. Radiocarbon and optically stimulated luminescence dating techniques place the cannon and the structure in which it was found firmly within the Coronado era, as do artifacts found nearby and in the same structure. These include crossbow bolt heads, gable-headed nails, European pottery, and weapons components, among other items. The cannon was abandoned when the Sobaipuri-O'odham, ancestors of the O'odham at San Javier and the Tohono O'odham Nation, overran the settlement, killing at least 100 residents. Evidence of this attack is abundant on the site, and the event was noted in historical documents. This Sobaipuri-O'odham uprising is one of the earliest Native American revolts against European colonization, and in some ways, it was the most consequential, since Spaniards did not return to this area and these people for 150 years. This find has been detailed in an article in the International Journal of Historical Archaeology and another article in American Rifleman. The site is discussed along with this gun in an American Antiquity article. This cannon is the first firearm found that can be definitively associated with the Coronado expedition or any other American conquistador or discovery period expedition. A second cannon, now discovered from the site, will be discussed in a separate video, showing that the townsite had its own set of cannon.